Now before we do dive in, if you do use Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, make sure to follow me on all at SAKITECH online, and of course make sure to subscribe to SAKITECH and click on that notifications bell icon to get notified every time I upload a video. Hey guys, Sak here from SAKITECH, and in today's video what we're going to do is we are going to be unboxing the Samsung Galaxy S10e, and this is in the Flamingo pink color, one of my favorite colors. So here's the S10e's box. Let's reveal what's inside. So there we have it. So there's the Flamingo pink Samsung Galaxy S10e, and if I lift up the phone, as you can see on the back, you get that gorgeous flamingo pink color. Now the funny thing is this color is very much like the color that you get on the iPhone XR when you get the coral color. As a matter of fact, let me put this over here for 1 second and grab the other phone as well. So that's the iPhone in coral, and that's the flamingo pink color for the S10e, and they're very much alike with slight differences in the hue. Now let me put this aside for a second. Let's see what's in the box really quickly, and then we're gonna move on to the actual smartphone to do a first time setup on this phone, and also to take a look at what the software looks like. So here it is. We have a charging adapter that plugs into the wall. We have the USB Type-C to micro USB adapter here that a lot of people simply don't use anymore. And then we have the wired earbuds that were tuned by AKG over here. And in this box here, we have the USB Type-C cable that is going to connect to the adapter to charge your smartphone. Okay, so that's all the usual stuff in the box that you get. As you can see, this is what it looks like. Now here's the actual smartphone. And really quickly, one thing that that is a highlight of this smartphone is the rear cameras over here. The highlight is the fact that it's only got 2 cameras back here as opposed to the Samsung Galaxy S10's triple rear cameras. Now we have a standard wide angle and a super wide angle lens, so we don't have the telephoto lens that you get on the other smartphones, which I think the super wide and the standard wide is a better option. And over here we have the actual flashlight. We do not have a heart rate sensor. On the side we have the volume buttons and the Bixby button, and on this side of course we have an actual fingerprint sensor that's built into the side power button. So if you want to log in the phone, you just press this. Now if I want to actually turn on the phone, I can actually press this, and that actually doubles up as a power button, as you can see. Okay, so you do get haptic feedback when you press this button, which is great. It is clear that it is in fact a button and also a fingerprint sensor. So let's turn on this phone and take a look at everything that it has to offer for us from a software perspective. And of course, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a first time setup so you guys can get a full first-hand experience. And really quickly at the bottom over here, we do have a 3.5mm headphone jack. We have the USB Type-C power adapter, and of course the speaker grill right over here. And as you can see, the phone is talking to us. It wants us to get started. So let's do that right away. And of course, one more thing really quickly, on the front, we do have the 10 megapixel front-facing camera. As opposed to the S10 Plus, it only has 1 camera, but just like the S10, it does have that one exact same camera. All right, let's dive in. All right, so here it is, and it wants us to get started. So let's click on this arrow here to get started. And then it's going to ask me to actually accept some of these terms. So I'm going to accept all of them right now. I'm going to click next. And as you can hear, it is talking and giving me voice instructions. All right, so I'm going to skip all this for now. I'm not going to bring any data over from the older phones. I'm going to connect to a Wi-Fi really quickly. Let me just dump in my password really quick. All right, so let's click on next now. And let's see what it's going to ask for. This time it's saying it is checking for updates. It's asking us to wait for a couple seconds, checking some information, whatever that is. And it does want me to log in to the actual Google account, which I'm going to do right away. Okay, so it wants me to choose a backup. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to click Don't Restore. It's going to be a brand new setup. Again, it is giving us a couple seconds. So like I said, this phone does have face recognition using the front-facing camera, or you can use the fingerprint sensor that's built into the side. What I'm going to do is I'm going to skip that for now. I'm not going to set any one of these things up. So I'm just going to say not now, so we can go straight into the actual software experience. Skip anyway. And then all these things over here, just accept for now. We can modify everything later if we so desire. it is adding the finishing touches. It does want me to log into a Samsung account, which I highly recommend that you do as well. If you don't have one, just create it right over here. Let me do mine right away. Alright, so legal information, I'm just going to click next. We're logging in right away, and we should be good to go in a second. So it's saying all done, click on finish, and it's going to take me into the home screen of the Samsung Galaxy S10e, and there it is, guys. Alright, again, let's click on this. Let's just set up the weather widget really quickly so it looks nice and cool. Now, one thing with this button over here is that it actually allows you to pull down the notifications panel by swiping up and down on it. So I would have to go to the settings to enable that feature, go into advanced features, and then tap on motions and gestures. And then over here we have the finger sensor gestures. You enable this. You can also tap on it. It gives you some details. So if I swipe down, it brings down the notifications panel. If I swipe up, it can also bring Samsung Pay after I set up Samsung Pay. But again, let me just swipe it, and as you can see, the notifications panel came right down. Okay, let's do it like this. Swipe, swipe up. That's the fingerprint sensor on the side of the actual smartphone. Now that's a fantastic little feature. So it's not just a power button over here, but also doubles up as a notifications panel toggle. Alright, so as you know, this smartphone is running the Samsung One UI. So if I go to the settings over here, and if I scroll all the way down, tap on About Phone, and tap on Software Information, you'll see that it says Samsung One UI version 1.1, and it's of course running Android version 9, which if I tap this a couple times, that's Android Pie. Alright, so let's go back out. Let's look at around the phone really quickly. One of the biggest things with the One UI, obviously with the Samsung phones, is the fact that when you pull things down, they tend to come towards you. Now, because the S10e has a smaller screen than the S10 and the S10 Plus, it's going to be very easy to operate this phone with one hand. So that's a perk that you're getting if you actually got this phone instead of the other two. And of course, if I go to the settings again, I can bring things down to my level just like that. If I go into any menu setting, I can pull this down to myself again. And as you can see, that's very easy access. On top of that, we've got the night mode right over here, which a lot of people absolutely adore. So if I tap on this one, boom, you've got the night mode. All right. With night mode, everything in the phone changes character to a darker theme. So even if I go to the phone app over here, it's going to be dark. If I go to the messages, it's going to be dark all over the place. All the Samsung Core apps, even the calculator, is going to be dark. And of course, if I go over here into the calendar, that's going to be dark as well. If I tap this, you get the new interface to switch between apps. You can tap on the button on the top over here to create the pop-up view, so just like that if you so desire. You can exit out, or you can tap on this one and do the split screen view if you desire as well. And that's going to be the split screen multitasking. All right, let's disable that. Let me go back into the settings, disable the night mode really quickly. Other things we have in the software side is if you scroll down, you have the device care option over here. This is also known as the device maintenance on the older phones, but with the One UI, you get the new name, and of course, you get a bunch of new options, such as the optimization and restart options over here that I'm going to show you in more detail in my other videos. But mostly, it is the same thing. And as you can see in the notifications panel, we have some updates going on, and if I pull this down, again, very close to the one-hand mode, you even have a search button here that if you tap it, will take you into the Finder search. That is the same thing as this. So if I go over here, that's my apps. If I tap this, that's going to be the Finder search that allows you to search the entire phone. And of course, some of the other things that we have that are pretty cool with this phone is if you pinch the screen and if you go into the themes, and if you go over, let's just update the themes really quickly. All done. Let's go back inside and tap on View All right over here. Oops, missing that. Tap on View All. As you can see, we have a bunch of new themes. Now this happens to be the Flamingo pink color. So I'm going to tap on the pink theme. And when I download this and apply this, I'm going to show you something really cool that you get to do with the themes. So when you click apply, obviously the theme of the entire phone is going to change. So now when I go to the phone, you're going to see a different theme for the phone app. If I go to the messages, it's going to be different. If I go into the settings, and even the background of the notifications panel is going to have that pinkish theme going on. And if I go to the settings, same thing, okay? Pink all over the place with white background for the actual settings. Now the good thing with the themes is when you change the theme, and if you go into the display and activate the night mode, you also get some modifications on the actual night mode. The ambient color over here for the smaller fonts is also different. Normally it's all blue, just like this line over here. But when you have a different theme enabled, the night mode also changes a little bit character. Even if I pull this down, as you can see, the activated toggles are in fact in that pinkish color. Okay, so the more, so if I go back over here to themes, and if I were to pick any one of these other themes over here, green, white, black, or the yellow one over here, all the different colors are also going to reflect on the night mode. So it's going to give you, you have all these different combinations you can create for the night mode and also for the regular non-night mode. All right, so that's the pink one. I don't like it that much. Let me just go in there really quickly, change it to something more manly over here. So I'm going to go to the default theme over here, click apply. As you can see, it's very fast, instantly does the application, and now we are in the default mode. And then if I pinch this again, go to the wallpapers, tap on view all, you have these wallpapers here that are new. But one of my favorite things is the multi-pack wallpaper that I can actually enable. And what that's going to do is it's going to only apply to the lock screen, but every single time I log into my lock screen, it's going to give me a different wallpaper. It's going to be one of these guys. So let's click set as wallpaper, go back out. Let me just go to the lock screen really quickly. And if I tap it one time over here, it's going to give me the always on display. If I double tap it, it's going to go to the lock screen, and it's going to pick a different wallpaper every single time. All right. So let me go to the settings one more time, go into the biometrics and security, and from here you can actually set up your fingerprints. I have nothing going on right now, so if I did want to add it, I would have to click continue. We're not going to do that in this video. It's going to be very simple. You just click continue and tap your finger over here a couple times, and you're good to go. Of course, a few of the other things that we have with the Samsung S10e, of course, we have a lot of things going on here, but we cannot go into every single thing. But again, most of the newest things do correlate with the One UI update. If I do go to the display, if I do scroll down and go to the navigation bar, I can flip the position of these buttons by tapping this. Now the back is here, recents is here, and I can also make them disappear. So now I can go swipe up to go up like that, swipe up again to bring up the multitasking pane, and swipe up to go back on any screen. So that's the navigation bar. I do prefer the buttons, but because this phone has a smaller screen, it would be nice to enable the full screen gestures to give you even more screen real estate. And you have the hints over here if you so desire that you can disable. If you tap this, you're not going to get any hints. No hints means you're not going to see those three buttons at the bottom at all. You just have to remember the middle is go home, that's the apps, and that's to go back. All right. If you want the hints, then you go to navigation bar and you just enable the hints. It'll show you three little lines at the bottom. I'm glad they have the option to get rid of it. So now you have a full immersive display, and the fact that it's small suddenly becomes less important because you're seeing everything on the screen. Now this phone is a powerful smartphone. Remember, it does have the Snapdragon 855 processor. Now this one happens to have the 6 gigabytes of RAM. So if I go to the settings over here and go into device care, if I go into the memory, you'll see that we have 6 gigs of RAM because I got the lower storage model. If you were to get the higher storage model, you would get 8 gigs of RAM. This is in fact the cheapest S10e, and even being the cheapest model, you still get 6 gigs of RAM, which is plenty enough to run this phone like a champion. Basically, everything you can do on the S10 Plus and the S10 can be done on the S10e as well. The only difference is the lack of a camera, the lack of the ultrasonic fingerprint sensor, and of course, the lack of the extra screen real estate. But overall, this is a fantastic smartphone with similar software experience as its bigger brothers. But that's it, guys. If you do have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop them down below. Let me know. And of course, subscribe to SAKITECH for more videos to come. I will see you in the next video.